It is 5:50 p.m. and we are just stepping out of the house to start our day. Been rounding legal games and home games for the last 3 days in the DFW area. And let me turn my jams off real quick. Things have been going really well for Nick and I. First day back from my 2 weeks off where I went to Alaska and Florida. Now we're heading up to Winstar with 3Bet Panda, who came into town to visit us. Pretty exciting. Had been playing right around 6 hours or so. Started a late midnight session last night, and from start to finish, I literally could not get a stack over 600 bucks. I was reloading every 30 minutes, it felt like, topping off to 500. That was pretty irritating, especially since I've been playing in deeper big blind games recently, to just sit there on a 100 big blind stack all night. But finally I got into a spot where the under the gun limps, cut off good player raises to 25. I'm on the button with pocket twos. I call, small blind comes in and the big blind folds. So we're 4 ways to the flop. Pot is 105. And the flop is good to us. It's 10-5 deuce with bottom 2 being hearts. So I flop bottom set. Kind of a strange line. The under the gun limp caller now donk bets for pot for 100. And the original pre-flop raiser who's on the cutoff kind of tank calls. At this point I have the small blind to my left who's sitting on like 250, and I have about 440 in my stack. And I'm not sure if it's better to raise or flat here, but in game I decided that I kind of liked just flatting. I thought that if I flat here in position, then there's a good chance that the small blind will shove any hand that he likes, like top pair or flush draw. And if he doesn't, then my hand is kind of disguised. Also, if I ended up shoving here for like 400 or something, and then the small blind stuck it in, then I think that under the gun might find a way to fold. So kind of just went for a little bit of a slow play here. It ended up working out. I called $100, and now the small blind shoves for 250, and the under the gun raiser tanks for a little while before reshoving for a $700 stack. He's covered by the cutoff, and cutoff ends up tanking for a while and then finally folds, and I call it off, of course, with bottom set, and we get it in 3 ways into a $1,300 pot. Turn is an 8, river is an ace, no hearts, so we brick the flush draw, and small blind turns over runner 2 pair for ace-8 of hearts, which was originally the nut flush draw. Under the gun says he can't beat it, and I turn over my set and scoop the pot for a nice little comeback on the night. That brought me back from what could have potentially been losing 2K to salvaging a negative $700 loss, which I'm pretty happy about. So, fun action.
You want to tell us about it?
All right, this took a pretty gross one. Biggest pot I've ever played, probably about 7K. Started the hand with like 3,200. Maybe the pot was like 6,500. Anyway, it's a straddle pot, playing 5-10, so straddle to 20. One of the regular pros opens to 65, and I'm in the big blind with ace-jack of spades, so I call. The straddle folds. Flop comes queen, queen, 6, 2 spades. I have ace-jack of spades. I check flop. Pro C bets 90. I flat call. I don't really want to check raise this flop because if he's got trips, he's not folding, and I might have the best hand with ace high. So I like a call. I guess there's an argument for raising because I blocked queen jack and ace jack, or ace queen. Anyway, I call. The turn is the 10 of spades, giving me the nut flush. I check it over to the villain. He continues for 225. And now we're busting pretty deep, and I have a decision to make on whether I want to just flat again on a paired board, or if I want to go ahead and raise it up. I think my villain's betting trips here 100% of the time. I think the only boat he can really have is queen 10 or pocket 10s, and I don't even know if he has queen 10. So anyway, I decide to raise to get value from other flushes and from trip queens, and because I can be bluffing here with the ace of spades sometimes. So I raise to 700, and he surprisingly re-raises me to 17, so basically 1,000 on top. And now I go into the tank for probably a minute on what I want to do, whether I'm ever folding here, what value hands he can have. And I finally just decided my hand's too good to fold to a pro here that knows that I'm an aggressive player. If he has pocket 10s or queen 10, like, that's pretty shitty, but I think I have the best hand a lot still. I end up, and I'm also deciding now whether to flat or reship, but I don't want to fourth spade to kill my action, and I don't want him to be able to check back the river when I check to him, so I just ship it, hope he calls, makes a bad call, and he ends up sticking it in with king queen with the king of spades, so he does have the trip queens with the second nut flush draw, which I guess he thinks blocks some of my flushes, but anyway, we get it in. Pot's at least 6,500, and then dealer binks the king on the river.
Binks the king on the river. Binks the king on the river.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Alright, what's up guys? We just woke up in our hotel room here. We booked 2 nights at Winstar, we get them comp, so we booked 2 nights so we could sleep into the next day. But we're packing up right now. The cleaning lady is already come and banged on the door twice. So we are packing up quickly, trying to get out of here. It's about 1:30, we were supposed to check out at 1, and that was super late checkout. We asked for noon, they said yes. We called back and asked for 1, they said okay. And then started coming to bang on the door at 1, and it's about 1:30 now. We are about to head out to Choctaw. We're playing the 5 p.m. flight, it's about an hour drive. So we're planning to get there about 3 o'clock. We'll go get checked into our hotel there, head over to the casino, get registered a little early. Hopefully run good today and maybe make a bunch of money. I think there's going to be about 200K up top in this tournament. It's a $350 buy-in with $1 million guaranteed prize pool. It's going to be a massive field, but it is deep stack play. So we might have a little playability even in the middling stages of the tournament. So wish us luck. If we do end up busting out of the tournament, we will be jumping into some 2-5 cash games tonight. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. We will let you know when we get there. Alright, me and Raine are about to hop into the $350 million guarantee. I'm sitting on about 30,000 and Raine is sitting on 34,000, I believe. Played a couple of interesting hands. Raine made a hero fold earlier with 2 queens and the 3-bet pot on the flop to a c-bet, and the guy shows aces. I made a hero call with 2 aces on a paired board that came 3 to a flush, but the line the guy took didn't make a lot of sense. It never really made sense for him to have trips, which it was pretty much what it looked like he was trying to rep because the flush was backdoor. Anyway, I'll go into the action later. We're on a short break, but I called him down with aces and ended up winning a pretty big pot, doubling up, and then won a couple of smaller pots later to get up to 38, and then lost jacks against kings, all in pre-flop against a short stack to knock me back down to 30. So we're all 3 hanging in there. We're halfway through day 1, so good chance all 3 of us could bag. Yeah. We're on the 3rd break in the tournament. It's gonna be a short update. We only got about 5 minutes. We had a really good last level, got aces and opened after not playing a single hand for an hour, and a guy reshoves with ace king suited, and of course we snap it off and hold, so that's nice. Then a couple of hands later, we win a pretty big pot. I have ace queen, a guy opens under the gun, +1, new to the table. He's a really big stack. I call, flop comes ace high, he c-bets, I call, turn brings a straightening card, I believe it was ace 5.
Ace 3-5.
Ace
flop.
3-5.
Flush draw.
With a flush draw.
Yeah.
6 on the turn.
Yeah.
6 on the turn. He continues on the turn. I call. River brings 4 to a straight,
Yeah.
right? Brings a 4, bringing 4 to a straight, 1-liner. But he bets out for about a quarter of the pot, and I have no choice but to call. And he shows up with 10-8 offsuit. So nice donation right there, which got us up to about 65,000. So now we're sitting on slightly above average stack, and we're going into the last 4 levels of play here. So this is our last break of the night. We'll let you know how it goes afterwards. Good luck, guys. All right. So we just got back to the hotel. Me, Raine, and a whole bunch of people that we know from Winstar were firing bullets today. Unfortunately, me and Raine both made it to the final 20 minutes of day 1 in the last level and then busted out. I busted out with about 10 minutes left. It was literally on the last orbit of the day. I had 18 big blinds and got dealt ace queen in middle position. It folds to me. It was a fairly active table. It's ace queen offsuit. I raise and get jammed on and end up calling it off with ace queen against someone that I've seen around. I know he's a pretty regular player and could be shoving a lot lighter than ace queen. And he ended up having queens, so we lose the pot and our tournament is over. Pretty brutal playing all day long and then busting out on the last orbit and seeing everybody else like literally bagging up as they're leaving the tournament area. So